What is good, everybody? It's your boy Tico on Blitz, back at it again with another video. And today we've got another tank review. This time we are going to be reviewing the Tier 10 French Collector Heavy Tank, the AMX M4 MLE54. A tank that seems pretty large in comparison to a lot of other French tanks, and it also has solid armor. We could see, based on the profile right here, that it has the front of its turret upwards of 300 millimeters thick, and its hull upwards of 210 millimeters thick. Speaking of which, this is what you can expect against a Kron against this tank. You can see that the whole upper plate right here is pretty much going to be an auto ricochet, having a pretty solid upper plate, upwards of 335 millimeters thick in some cases. But you have a very large lower plate on the bottom that only ranges 195 millimeters thick, along with some hatches on the top of the roof that range in from 150 to 190 millimeters thick in some cases. You also have 8 degrees of gun depression with this tank, and when you use it, that is when it is all going to change. Even when loading heats, you're not going to be able to cut through the turret. It's got very strong cheeks, ranging upwards of 500 millimeters thick in some cases. And you got a big gun mantlet right here that is an auto ricochet, also upwards of 530 millimeters thick. The hatches are pretty much non-existent at this point. You cannot see them at an angle like this, which means even if you see the hatch on the tank, it's still going to be an extremely hard hit. On the bottom portion of the turret, good luck trying to hit those very small weak spots on the bottom of the turret. It's pretty much just not going to be what you would typically expect with a tank like this. In some other cases, there tend to be a lot of times where this tank can be penned while it is angling. You could see right here, if I just turn the tank slightly to the side, you could see that there is a small portion of the side of the turret that can be cut through. It's only 210. And then you got a very small cheek on top of the track wheels right here on the front part of the hull. That's upwards of 229. The ammo rack is also located in the spot. If you happen to hit anywhere within this vicinity right here, you're pretty much going to damage the ammo rack factors. Side of the tank would look like this. It's what you would typically expect. It's not pretty, but it seems to be okay. The turret is upwards of 128, while the rear of it is only 80. Then you have the sides right here, ranging in at 106 millimeters thick. The ammo rack is also located within the 4th or 5th track wheel, I think it is. I think it's the 4th. But anyways, yes. If I load HEs, for example, you're not going to cut through the side of the vehicle unless if you have a high HE output in something like maybe a 183, something like that. And of course, here's the rear of the tank, only ranging upwards of 61 on the back of the turret. And then you have the very back portion, or the rear, upwards of 71. HEs can still not cut through the back of this vehicle and do the maximum damage output. You would have to, like I said before, need a very high damage output of at least 70-80 millimeters thick in order to be able to cut through the rear of this vehicle. Along with some of the other stats of this tank, you can see that it has a damage per minute factor of 2,506 damage per minute with a 10.7 second reload time. Upon expected with the heavy tank, it's still pretty average. I do love, however, the millimeters of pen that this vehicle has. You can see on the standard ammo that it has upwards of 270. Its premium is upwards of 363, and its high explosive is upwards of 66. Average damage, you can see on the standard that it's 450. With its premium, it's 380, and its high explosive upwards of 600. Combine that with a 4.5 second aiming time with a 0.326 dispersion at 100 meters. It's not really going to be the best in terms of accuracy. I mean, especially when fully aimed in, that's one of the potential downsides to this tank. You're not really going to hit shots in the exact area to where you're aiming. They're just going to be flying all over the place for the majority of the shots that you take. And the maneuverability of this tank, one of my favorite things about it is that it has a reverse of 20 kilometers per hour, which upon the majority of heavies in the game cannot even exceed that speed in reverse. I mean, the closest two other tanks would be the 50B as expected and the Kron at reversing at 18 kilometers per hour. But upon that, it does carry a top speed of 45 kilometers per hour with a power to weight of 15.3, a turret turn rate of 27.61, and a hull turn rate of 35.45. This tank, on the other hand, carries sandbag provisions, and what these do is it increases your tank's HP by plus 6%. You do have 2 of them, but I just like to run 1 of them. It's because the tank already exceeds a pretty solid amount of armor just individually, but only 1 sandbag. It brings it upwards towards outdoing the majority of a lot of other super heavies, upwards of 2,800 hit points. And here we are on our first game here on Desert Sands. Let's see what they got up against us in terms of heavies. An E100, a Super Conch, a 5A, and that's basically it. So what I assume I should do is I'm just going to go ahead and make my way over towards Seaside, because that's where the majority of their tanks would go on this map. So let's see who's going to come along with us. Looks like our 183, our E75, our Type 68 seems to just go off and help support the mediums. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try our best to see if we can hold off some of these heavies towards the side over here. So there are going to be them. Yep, I see some trees falling over towards the side right there. We're just going to wait on out, see what their enemies are going to do. Looks like we got the E100 within our sight. We are spotted at the moment, which is not ideal, so I'm pretty scared to poke because I think that 183 is camping in the back right there. So probably just going to stay put right here in a scrape. We got another tank probably over towards the side because I think I just saw a car crash. Yep, there is the Super Conch right there. Don't want to poke just yet. So what I'm going to do is just make my way a little bit over here. Oh, okay, 183. I see how it is. All right, we got that E100 into sight right now. He does get a bounce into our 183, surprisingly enough. So what we're going to do, we got the JG right there. We are going to get a nice slap into him for 457. And we're going to stay put in a scrape right here. See who else is going to poke. We got the JG again. Let's see if we can aim in another shot. We're not able to see his lower plate, unfortunately enough. We got that 183 has just been spotted. So I'm going to see if I can poke over this side and get a shot into that E100. There we go. That's a nice squeaking shot right into his lower plate. And it looks like the WZ5A looks like he is going to flank us. Not really sure what his plan is to do in this situation. So what I want to try to do is I want to hold off that WZ. Oh, nope, he's over towards medium side. Never mind. That was my fault upon saying that. But let's see who else is going to decide to poke. We still got that JG that I think is over there. Oh, nope, he's moved. Okay, perfect. Let's just get back into a side scraping position right here. See if we can get a shot into him. There we go. Nice shot for 507. He did miss his shot. That is pretty ideal. He's got the Super Conch that's trying to push up on the E75, trying to get it clear onto him. So I think he's just going to poke here in the next couple seconds. He's going to try to get into a scrape. But we are probably going to get a nice shot into his lower plate for 412. We're going to just get in a straight scrape right there. He does end up focusing on the Foch for some odd reason. We still got that JG over towards the side right here. Not able to spot him at the moment. There is the Super Conch as well. We're going to get another shot for 425 into his tank. We're just going to move on up and see if we can get a clear into the Super Conch right here because they have 2 of their tanks over towards that side. So I want to get another shot into the Super Conch right there. We're going to say right in a... Yep, he does get the bounce because we did not angle our tank at the slightest bit. So that means we're going to get another shot into him for 415. Stay in a straight line, and he gets clear. That is a beautiful demonstration on how to use the AMX M454 to get the majority of bounces on your tanks. We got that E100 to the side as well. That was my fault. I should have just came in through the wall right here and then aimed that shot perfectly on him. We got that JG. I don't want him to hit me. Actually, I have the hit points, so I could honestly care less. Let's just get a nice shot into the into the JG right there. He does end up penning me, but that is completely fine. And the E100 is also going to get cleared in just a second. And we are going to aim in on him. And okay, we actually get the clear on him. That is pretty ideal. So in this battle, we were able to do 3693 damage. Kill a couple in the process while at it, and let's see the statistics afterwards. So yep, we were able to destroy 1 tank, we blocked 400 damage, and a potential face hug against the Super Conch, and pull out a 3rd class. We were also to do 2nd on the team, which is pretty good. Let's do one more and see how she performs. Alrighty, here we are on our second game here on Faust. Let's see what they got up against us in terms of heavies. Excuse me. 60 TP, a Type 71, a VK9001P, and that's basically it. Okay, so let's see what we are going to do upon this point. Alright, so we are going to make our way over towards medium side because the majority of their heavies are... majority of our teammates are going that side, and it looks like our mediums do need support as they do seem to be not outnumbered, but within the same amount of the same class. So I'm just going to continue on to make my way over here and see if I can find a spot where I can use my 8 degrees of gun depression to my advantage. So we're going to continue making our way over towards this way. Looks like the majority of their team is over towards that side of the map as well. Want to see if there are going to be some enemies poking out towards this side of the map right over here. Not really 100% sure, but we're going to find out and see. We do have 3 of those guys over towards the side. Do I have the height advantage to see if I can get a shot into him? Oh, we do see him in the process. There we go. A nice shot into him for 447. We're going to put on my accelerated reload. See if he's going to back up once again. Nope, he is not going to back up, but we do have some of the other enemies that are going to try to push on up as well. That Leopard PTA probably is going to poke. No, he is not. Okay, we got 2 enemies over towards this side of the map as well. We can see the grilled 15 within our peripheral point of view, who we are going to get a nice slap for 616 into his tank. Stay hold down just in case if he decides to want to spot me. We are still able to see him in the process. We're going to aim in a... Okay, well, that shell missed. Not surprised about that, but we are able to still finish him off. We got that 704 off in the back. It looks like he is AFK, so what we are going to do, probably see if we can farm this guy till he's literally nothing. So we are going to aim in on his tank for once. Oh, and he comes back alive. We are able to get a clear onto him. We're going to continue to move on forward, see if I can get some shots into the Type 71. Looks like that Leopard PTA is still there too. Don't have the reload output to get some shells into him. We're going to continue to move on upwards towards the Leopard PTA. He is facing his front right there. All right, 479 shot into his tank. We're going to continue onward to move up and get a clear into this guy without a hassle. We're going to ram him. Oh, never mind. Okay, that's fine. We're going to get a clearing shot into the VK. We're going to continue on to move forward with that Type 71, trying to do his best to clear our guy. We're going to continue onward this way, see if we can get a nice shot into him for 433. And now all that's left is the 60 TP off in the backside of the map. All right, we're going to go ahead and make our way over towards this guy right there. He's probably going to poke. Never know. So, and it looks like he is making his way over towards this side. So I want to do my best to... Yep, he is making his way over here. Don't want my 907 to be spotted during the process. So we're going to aim in a shell on him. Wait for his lower plate to show. And there we go. We get a nice shot into him. And we're just going to farm this guy to the best to our advantage, because he is the only one left. So we are able to get another nice shot into him for 481. We're going to continue to remain in a face hug with this guy. See if he can get a bounce off of me. Nice. We do end up getting a bounce off him. And that is the end of his tank. As you can see, the AMX M4 MLE54, when used properly, is a very deadly tank. You have the armor, you have the hit points, you have the damage factors, you'll have basically anything that comes into play with this tank's playstyle. We were able to do top on the team, do 3487 damage with 2 kills, and pull out another second class along with that. Overall, my personal opinion on the M4 MLE54, since it is the first premium tank that I've purchased on this account, it's just great. You have overall very many capabilities when it comes to the tank's playstyle, including the maneuverability and the reverse speed in order to take cover without a hitch, along with the 8 degrees of gun depression as well, which I truly like about the tank, and the fact that you have impervious turret armor when you're using that gun depression. Hopefully you guys did end up enjoying today's video, and if you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and turn on those post notifications so you'll be notified whenever I upload any new videos. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace out, y'all.